Oh, didn't see you there. Right, it is just after 9 o'clock on Saturday morning. I'm out on deck, beautiful day, and no wind unfortunately. It's sort of like about 5 to 6 knots. It looks like it's going to be motoring today, never mind. Motored all last night as well. Just put 40 litres of diesel in. She uses about 1.75, maybe 2 litres an hour depending on how hard you are on the gas, but which is pretty good really. Yeah, and I carry 200 litres, so you know that's sort of 400 odd miles, something like that. Anyway, I'm probably just going to muck around today and do bugger all, because there's bugger all you can do on a day like this, except enjoy it. So I'll just leave you with the view. There is a sail like right up just off the starboard bow, so you won't see it, and just like right on the horizon. He must be just slightly quicker than me because he's slowly disappearing into the sunset, into the, not sunset, just the horizon. So yes, that's what it's like today folks. Not really doing bugger all. You see, I left the main up just so the occasional puff will help, but as you can see, nothing's helping today. So yeah, it's going to be a cracker day. At least it's not cold today. Boy, it was cold last night. I had to throw a blanket on the bed. Gone as the warm sailing days for a few months. Never mind, we'll be back. Just the slightest swell. Just enough to break up the monotony. It's all good. Four o'clock Saturday afternoon, and not a cloud in the sky, and it's been like that all day really. Been pretty cool, very cool. Sea's flat as, apart from a bit of a swell, and no wind, so we're still motoring, which is a bit of a bugger. But yeah, other than that, it's like the wind's slowly coming around to the northwest. It's still pissing around. Hopefully it'll settle down, and the forecaster says 8 knots, so if that happens it'll be all good. But probably still have to keep the engine running to get some miles up to try and get ahead of this front, well, this low that's coming across the top of the North Island. So anyway, it could be worse. Well, it is another humdinger of a day. Sailing downwind, wing on wing. We're about 280 odd miles off Marsden Cove, so I'm hoping to get down there on Tuesday. We've got plenty of wind coming up, so I don't think that'll be a problem. I just don't want to get there too late, that's all. But yeah, as you can see, perfect sailing conditions really. Just loving it. Shillong's loving it, that's for sure. Got about 10 to 12 knots of breeze at the moment, and we're cruising along sort of 5.5, just a smidgen over 6 knots, so that's all good. So yeah, absolutely outstanding. Well, this is how I like to have my chart plotter set up. I've got the autopilot there, as you can see. We're sailing at 168 true wind direction, safely downhill without possibly promoting any accidental jibes. I've also got a jibe preventer on. Our course here, now that red line is a course that's heading straight for a marker just off Marsden Cove. That there, obviously you can zoom out there and you can see New Zealand. We're not too far away now. so I just like to have it in a bit closer. So obviously you need to with these charts anyway, but you get a better idea of how the blue line is our heading. And here we have the sail steering. So I find that pretty cool because that gives you your apparent wind and your true wind there. Compass rose there, so it's showing north. Currents that might be around. And yeah, you can't see it behind the 173, but there's a little yellow dot which also shows you exactly where your waypoint is that you're heading to. And down here, this is pretty cool. It's 30 minutes. I've just got this set at 30 minutes at the moment, which gives you your true to wind direction and your true wind speed, which is handy if it's fluctuating all over the show. Use those figures because they're over the last hour, so it gives you, you know, like a bit of an average. And up over on this side, we've got our speed over ground and the boat speed. Again, the apparent wind angle and the true wind angle, the true wind speed and the true wind direction. And then we've got our apparent wind speed, our heading. Now the estimated time of arrival, that is hopefully what time it's going to be on Tuesday when we arrive. The DDT for the distance to go, and now I've just got in there the date and the time. The depth sounder isn't working because at the moment it's too deep for it. And that tide rate 0.9, which also relates up to the current and the sail steer thing. And the tide thing is, which is that piece there, that usually gives you tide information that'll come on once we get to Whangarei, closer to New Zealand, and it picks up a tide station. So yeah, that's what we've got. And there's other options. You've got other map options up here. I have that one there which gives just the 2 windows, or that one there just gives the sail steer window, or you can have just the chart. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I quite like the PNG stuff. Been a little disappointed with the reliability of it with some of the things, like our depth sounder. We've had to replace that fairly quickly, and our autopilot control out in the cockpit, that lunched itself with water, and so that was a no-go. But what we did get to replace the autopilot controller in the cockpit, we got this handheld one, Bluetooth, and it is just absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's the best thing since sliced bread, I reckon. So anyway, that's the chart plotter. I reckon it's pretty cool. What do you guys reckon? 8:30 Sunday night now. We're bouncing along quite nicely. Got like 15 knots, and we're cruising along at like 6.5, 7. Wind sort of on the beam. Yeah, so it's all good. Decided after it got dark, of course, to get rid of the hold out head sail as you do. So I was up on the foredeck in the dark and the boat was bouncing around, but that's all good. Got that sorted. So now pretty much laying Whangarei heads, which will be Tuesday afternoon, I would say we get there. But yes, it just depends if the wind holds, because what I got now is nothing like was forecast. So yeah, it's probably going to, well, who knows what's going to happen, whether it holds during the night or not. I hope so, because we're making some good ground in the exact direction we need to be. So happy with that. Here we go, 7.5. So yeah, no, it's awesome. Another pretty cruisy day. Boat was reasonably stable, seeing we were pretty much downwind and just slightly across the nasty little short waves that we had, so it was like, wasn't too bad. But 8 knots, so that's all good. So my kips are going to be interesting, bouncing around down here. Anyway, unless something interesting happens, I won't bore you with any more details of today's play. And yeah, I'm sure I'll be back in the morning. What's that noise you hear? Well, it's the engine. That went back on again at about 3:30. The wind fell over at 3, and I tried to keep the boat sailing, but it was like, oh bugger, I can't be bothered. So I thought, well, to hell with it. On she goes. Yeah, looking forward to getting back to New Zealand, to be fair, catch up with Julie. God, I haven't had eaten a proper piece of meat for like 10 days either, so that'll be quite some experience. I'm just going to keep the motor on until the wind fills right in. We're still looking, it's only like 4.5 flickers up to 5 knots, so that might be a little while. So yeah, and then when it does, it's going to come around from the north I'll probably put the pole back out and wing on wing it down the coast to Whangarei. Be a bit of fun for tonight and for tomorrow. Anyway, we will see what the day brings. Well, it's the wee hours of Tuesday morning, just off the 12-mile limit in New Zealand. Notified Maritime Radio that I'm on my way, so they asked me a few questions. So I won't be too far away, and I will be, oh god, that's got bright, Jesus. Now that's got dark. Oh, well, never mind, you get the gist of it. But hey, land ho, Cape Brett, just up over there. Sun come up, just, well, I could see a few lights before the sun come up, but we're here. So now we've got a buddy bugger all wind sailing downhill now to Marsden Cove, but yes, I've done it. Very cool, very cool. Just had a really crap night last night, hardly any wind, same course. So to be back is pretty cool now. And yeah, hopefully I'll be in at Marsden Cove at about 3 o'clock so we can get the customs done, and I'll get up the river and under the bridge before they close down for the night. So anyway, it looks like it might be a nice day other than bugger all wind, so I'll keep you posted. Yes. While I'm at it, here's some of the beautiful New Zealand coastline. And that's looking up north towards the Bay of Islands.